That's the vote everybody wants. The vote of some kid who's just trying to make a podcast. So I want to talk more about the duties of a chairman and like the day-to-day running of your job, if you don't mind exposing the trade secrets a little bit every, not the full works, but the little parts.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Are you very like hands-on? Is it a very hands-on role, or is it more a sort of I know when to delegate and step back because there's people that are better at the actual nitty-gritty of specific tasks? Or
yeah, no, I'm. It's a balance that needs to be struck on that. So, I mean, it's not a full-time job. I'd spend usually a full day at the club every week, and then I do work remotely, email and calls and Zoom meetings and the like in between. So it probably takes, it's very much a part-time role. But as I say, we have a chief operating officer who basically runs the club day to day. And then obviously on the football side of things, you've got the team managers running the football side, the first team squad. We've got an academy director who runs the youth academy. So all of these people, I mean, they're employed to do their roles. My job is really to try and make sure that the things that comes together, that they're properly supported from the board. And on the board, we've all got areas of kind of responsibility that we help try and use the skills that we bring from industry, into the club. So we've got a guy who's, for example, very involved in property development and so forth. He had his own building company, so he looks after the kind of infrastructure side of things. We've got another guy who was a financial advisor. He's involved in the sort of trying to bring more commercial income into the club, sponsorship and that type of thing. One of our directors actually was a professional footballer, so he liaises more closely on the football side of things. So we have, individual responsibilities, and then obviously as a board we come together every month and sit down and try and look at strategy, progress, where we're up to. But it's a very fickle business. It's not like, I mean, as you know, I worked in a bank for almost 40 years, which is a completely different business. Football's so fickle. It depends so much on results. I mean, it'd be the same in any sport. It's not just football. Rugby would be exactly the same. And if you're on a good run, everything seems to be going well. And then if you're not on a good run, then the Twitter comments and the stuff on Facebook seems to become much more pointed and questioning whether things need to change. And so it's a bit of a roller coaster. As a fan, I always realised that, but it's like times 100 when you're on the board or you're the chair.
I was gonna put that question in later, but you've mentioned it nicely. Is there such a difference to watching the team on a Saturday now as chair as it was? Because there's still the fan element for yourself, but like the other thoughts start creeping back around, going, "Oh God, or like the next meeting is going to be really tough after this one."
Yeah. I mean, it really is quite different. The sense of responsibility, but in some ways, well, not in some ways, you're totally powerless as to what happens on the field. Once you'll have heard managers saying, once the team crosses the white line, there's nothing really I can do, kind of thing. And it's even more the case when you're another step, further removed. So, you definitely feel a pressure for the team to be successful, and because you've got some insight and knowledge of what's going on and some of the stuff that's maybe not public knowledge and player fitness or player happiness or whatever, you've got all that churning around as well. So it's and you can't shout at the top of your voice and scream the way that you would as a fan either. You've got to a degree of decorum, which can be quite a challenge sometimes, when you're really frustrated about something. So, but yeah,
I think as a boyhood fan, they let you off every now and again, just every once in a while.
Well,
that's Johnny.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off there.
I will always, no matter what happens, Sam, I will always be a fan. So that's the way it is, and sometimes you just can't help yourself. But shout out, when something happens, like claim for penalty kicks and that kind of stuff. It's just in you. So as long as
reckon
I'm
you do
not
a better job than I
swearing
would,
and
so
thinking,
don't worry. You'd
What
do
was
a
that,
better
sorry?
job than I would. You'd do a better job than I would. I'll tell you that for free. I can't even watch it on the telly.
Yeah, sometimes.
Have you ever caught your old does your old man manage to get near you, like where you are on the game day? Have you managed to get your old man a ticket sort of nearby, or?
No, his preferred seat is directly opposite, which is probably quite a good thing. I think he would give me a bit of earache at times, when things are not going so well. So no, he sits directly opposite us, so there's not much interaction really on match day apart from messages. My brothers are constantly messaging me during games because, as I said earlier, I've got 3 brothers, all fans. My nephew's a fan, my daughter's a fan, so there's always a lot of activity on WhatsApp and so forth, bemoaning the form of the team at times, or celebrating when we get a great result or a good goal or whatever. Yeah.
I love the thought of your family. Do you ever get now we're coming into summer, probably quite a fit in time. Do you ever got the WhatsApp chat where the dad and the brothers go, I hear this lad's available, do something about it? Or do you have to just sort of phone upside down and pretend you didn't get that one?
No, to be fair, they don't really often propose players. They're just maybe critical of certain ones that we have. You need to get rid of so-and-so, or so-and-so needs a kick up the backside. He's not playing as well as he could do. And then the manager's playing them out of position. And why have you not brought in a substitute? And, all the usual stuff. But,
everybody's a manager, John. Everybody's a manager.
Yeah, and team sports everyone loves because there are so many aspects where you can take an opinion and express your opinion on it. So it's we're all just crazy fans. That's it.
But that's what every fan will want to see. That is the smile that you talked about there when you're sat at the game and you're wanting to call for the penalty when you can't. To me, that speaks volumes. That's what I would want to see from a football board, chair, anybody. It's what you want to see. You want to see people that care about the club. So I have a lot of time and respect for that. So kudos to you for that one. So back into the day-to-day running and your position in the club, would you say you're the conventional off-season? I know there's not much of an off-season in football anymore because especially in the bigger leagues, they send them around the world to play 40 games. But would you say the conventional off-season is probably busier for you than the regular season as the board and the backroom team?
I would say it's just different. I don't think it's less busy. So at the moment, obviously, and the players are all away on holiday. So, the season's just finished and most of the guys are away on holiday. But the manager and, Stephen's relatively new to the club. We appointed him in February. So he's basically recruiting players, signing players, sort of wheeling and dealing in the transfer market. So there's quite a lot of stuff happening. Also, it's the end of our financial year, so there's stuff to do around that, and budgeting for next year, and trying to drive more income into the club so that we can maintain the best possible team in the park. So there's always stuff to do. It's just a bit different at this time of year. The cycles, this part of the cycle is just a bit different. And for example, I had a meeting today about potentially developing an area at the stadium to try and generate more income for us. I had a meeting with the chief operating officer talking about generating more income, and the fan survey that we've got underway at the moment, how that was going, season ticket sales. When are our jerseys going to arrive from China? For next season.
We have to get one right here. Happening. We'll have to get a jersey here. I want a signed jersey. I promise it will never come off the clothes hook if there's a signed jersey there. And I will make sure I don't record another episode until one's there.
We'll see what we can do for you. Yeah.
Oh, you gentlemen. I'll pay. Do you know what? I'll cover it. I'll pay for it as well. You get the signatures. I'll pay for the jersey.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
If you can get John McGinn's on there as well,
I can certainly do that. Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. John. Yeah, and if he was around, he would do it. He's a really great guy. Actually, the whole family, the McGinn family, all three brothers came through our academy, and they've got very strong St Mirren connections still, and three really lovely guys.
Are you waiting for that day when he's? You waiting for that day when he's a bit closer to home and you get like the prodigal son to return, and you're just like, right, well, I've got a gig for you.
Be very happy for him to finish his career with us. That's for sure. Yeah, he'd be a huge.
I'm going to label that as the exclusive. John McGinn promises to retire at St Mirren, and that will get all the clicks. We're sorted.
that would be great. Yeah.
Well, you've heard it here, folks. First, folks, John McGinn will finish his career in the St Mirren jersey.
Well, I never said that. I said I would love to. Just to be clear.
You'll come back with a horrible Scouse accent from Stephen. That's what will happen. I say Stephen like I know him. Stephen Gerrard.
Yeah.
God, Brummy, Paisley, and what else? And a bit of Scouse thrown in there.
That'd be quite a mixture. That would be if he had all three aspects. Yeah.
You'd come with subtitles with that one. That would be for sure.